Hello everyone, my name is Yoshi, and today I'll give you guys my top 10 crosshairs that I have saved on my account throughout my Valorant journey. Hope you enjoy! Now, for every crosshair I will play one deathmatch and then I'll show you the highlights of that game so you can take a look at the crosshair endgame. Of course the crosshair codes will be in the description down below, and I'll also put timestamps throughout this video so you can easily navigate to the crosshair codes down below. So be sure to copy any of them if you want to, because it's free. Before we talk about the crosshairs though, I'd like to talk about the colors for a second. Personally, I use cyan on every single crosshair because it's just a really nice color that sticks out and you don't really see it in a map except if you look into the air. However, on a map like Icebox, I'll use a green crosshair because you need to see your crosshair easily, and blue on blue you just look for your crosshair and don't find it. Though that is my personal preference, so you can use any color you want. You can even use the customizable color scheme that Valorant has in game right now. Though I recommend the default colors Valorant has because they are just amazing and perfect. Before I talk about the top 10 best crosshairs you can use, I'd like to address moving crosshairs. I'll start off by saying that you should simply never use them. A crosshair should be a static simple image on your screen, so you can easily identify the middle of your screen where your bullets will go in a split of a second. With a moving crosshair, that's simply not possible because that static point becomes a dynamic point, which tricks your brain into following the moving things. Also, it's way easier to concentrate on a static image rather than a dynamic one. This crosshair is okay, but it's a bit too complicated. And a crosshair needs to be simple. So you either take a square or a cross, but not together like in this. It's a bit too much. Also, the protrusions might confuse you into thinking they're actually the middle of your crosshair. Well, it's not, because the square is the middle of it. So I wouldn't use this one personally, but if you like it, you can use it. It's not all that bad. This crosshair is not that bad, but the reason it's ranked this low is because it's a bit too small. Crosshair should be subtle, but not this subtle. Apart from its size, it's actually a solid crosshair. Oh, and don't worry, a bigger version will be shown later in the video. Now the crosshairs start being great in general. The only bad thing I noticed in this crosshair is that it's turned 45 degrees. And there's probably a very good reason for why 90% of crosshairs have lines which are parallel to the course of the screen. Apart from that, it's actually a pretty solid crosshair. This crosshair looks like a beautiful star or a beautiful flower, and is actually quite good. The only downside to this crosshair is again that it's not fully parallel with your screen, but it's not as bad as the previous one. If you're looking for a fancy but good crosshair, you should try this one. This crosshair is called a dot, but I'm going to address it as a filled circle because the two upcoming crosshairs are variants of this one. Circles are always a really solid crosshair, because you just put the circle on the enemy's head and click when it's fully covered. However, unlike most crosshairs, instead of leaving the middle open, the middle is covered. This can easily be fixed by choosing a circle with a hole in the middle, which you will see in the two upcoming crosshairs. They will be better versions of a circle with like a dot inside, or just an empty circle, you'll see. Also, if you haven't gotten any clue of what crosshair you want to play, just try the circle once. It's a good starting point. But then again, better circular crosshairs will come next. So just take one of those. This circle is a little better than the previous one, because you can see what's in your crosshair a bit more. You can't see their entire head, but you can see the outlines. So a lot of vision is still blocked, but you can see a bit more than the previous one. This one also just feels more special and looks nicer. Of course the best circle crosshair is an empty one, which I'll talk about next. With a nice circle like this, there's only one point you have to focus on, so you can't miss where the exact middle of your screen is. Just focus on the empty space in the middle and you should be good. And of course, this is also the best circle because you can still see what's in the middle of your screen after your crosshair is perfectly aimed. And I think that's really important. This crosshair just looks amazing and feels so special to play with. It does have protrusions like number 10 has, but this one is different. In this case, the protrusions don't cause you to mistake the actual middle of your screen. So if you don't really care what crosshair you have, as long as it does its duty, I'd use this one. This one is my personal favorite. Ever since the Crosshair update on August 23rd in 2022, I've been using this one crosshair and I've gotten a lot of success with it. There's just something about its simplicity that makes it so attracting. You might notice it's a green crosshair though, but that's just because I started using it in green and cyan just doesn't feel fitting on the crosshair. For many, this crosshair looks strange and bad at first sight, but you should give it a try. I'll bet you like it. The absolute best crosshair in my opinion is Tenz's crosshair. This is also the crosshair that I used since the beginning of my Valorant journey. So I have used it for a very long time and I can assure you that it's a very effective crosshair. So if you're getting into Valorant or looking for a new crosshair, you should really use this one. It's great, it's amazing. I don't have any negative things I can say about it. Also, Tenz is the GOAT, so his crosshair can't be that bad. Here's my tier list so you can see all the crosshairs at once. Now that I have covered them all, I wonder what you think the best one is. So be sure to comment down below what you think of my tier list. Also, this video took me over 8 hours to edit, not even counting the gameplay and the voiceovers. So I would really appreciate it if you liked and maybe even subscribed. Thanks for watching.